Today, I'm going to talk about the tragic case of Kiera Bergman, a 19-year-old woman who was killed by her boyfriend in 2018. Kiera Bergman was a beautiful and smart young woman who had moved from San Diego to Phoenix with her boyfriend, Joan Christopher Clark, in early 2018. She had dreams of becoming a nurse and helping others. She was close to her family and friends who described her as kind, caring, and outgoing. But her relationship with Clark was not as happy as it seemed. According to court records, Clark and Bergman had frequent fights, and Clark was controlling and abusive towards her. He also had a criminal history of identity theft and forgery. On August 4, 2018, Clark's birthday, he and Bergman had an argument at their apartment. Clark claimed that Bergman left the apartment after the fight and never came back. He said he tried to contact her through text messages and phone calls, but she did not reply. He also went on local TV to plead for her safe return, saying he loved her and missed her. He said he had no idea where she was or what happened to her. But the police did not buy his story. They found evidence that Clark had used Bergman's phone after she disappeared, sending messages to her family and friends pretending to be her. They also found bloodstains in his car and on his clothes.
And Chris, I'm right outside the apartment complex where she was last seen, and this whole complex really had a community effort to try and find Kiera Bergman. Unfortunately, those efforts didn't turn up the results they had hoped for.
After confirming it was indeed Kiera Bergman, whose body was dumped in a remote area of Buckeye, Phoenix detectives were once again wrapping crime scene tape around her apartment building Wednesday afternoon.
A month later, on September 3, 2018, a cyclist found Bergman's body on the side of a rural highway west of Phoenix. She had been dumped there like trash, wrapped in a sheet and duct tape. The cause of death was determined to be blunt force trauma to the head. The police arrested Clark and charged him with first-degree murder, tampering with evidence, and improper removal of a body. He denied any involvement in Bergman's death and pleaded not guilty. His trial was delayed several times due to various issues, such as mishandling of evidence by the prosecutors and change of venue from Maricopa County to Pinal County to Pinal County. Finally, in September 2022, he faced a jury that would decide his fate. The trial lasted for 2 weeks, during which the prosecution presented witnesses, phone records, DNA evidence, and surveillance footage that linked Clark to Bergman's murder. The defense argued that there was no direct evidence that Clark killed Bergman, and that the police had tunnel vision and ignored other possible suspects.
Details in the murder of 19-year-old Kiera Bergman. Bergman's boyfriend, John Clark, the man accused of killing her, faced a judge overnight.
Now court documents are shedding new light on disturbing information about their relationship. Team 12's Tram Mai joins us. And Tram, what have you learned?
Mark and Caribe, investigators say John Clark had a history of accessing Kiera Bergman's personal accounts, including her Facebook, bank account, even sending text messages from Bergman's phone to her friend. And after Phoenix police conducted interviews with Clark and other witnesses, retrieved cell phone and social media data, now we know why John Clark is charged with first-degree murder.
Kiera Bergman went missing on August 4th. Nearly a month later, on September 3rd,
the jury deliberated for 3 days before reaching a verdict. They found Clark not guilty of second-degree murder and tampering with evidence. They could not reach a unanimous decision on the charge of improper removal of a body, which resulted in a mistrial. The verdict shocked and outraged many people who followed the case, especially Bergman's family and friends. They felt that justice was not served for Kiera, and that Clark got away with murder. Clark walked out of the courtroom a free man, but he still faces civil lawsuits from Bergman's family. He also faces charges of identity theft and forgery in another case. The murder of Kiera Bergman remains officially unsolved, but many people believe that Clark is the killer. He may have escaped legal punishment, but he will always live with the guilt and shame of what he did. Kiera Bergman deserves to be remembered as more than just a victim. She was a loving daughter, sister, friend, and human being who had a bright future ahead of her. She was taken away too soon by someone who claimed to love her. This case is a tragic reminder of the dangers of domestic violence and abusive relationships. If you or someone you know is in such a situation, please seek help and support. You are not alone. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more true crime content. Until next time, stay safe and stay curious.